I don't know if you know the story, Chris, but I hired a coach when I was running a dealership. So I was a general manager, and I literally would have a line outside my office, and I knew I was kind of coming to the end of the year, and I was making my goals for the next year, and I knew that I had, I was working 6 days a week, sometimes 7 at the end of the month, right? Because in the front end, you're if the month ends on a weekend or whatever, you're there, like no matter what, or if it's the last weekend going into the end. So you're working crazy hours. You got a line. You feel you're important because you're making a lot of decisions, but you don't have anything else to give. Like there's nothing else left to give. And I paid this guy. He came over to my house. And I believe it was $800 an hour, and I paid for it out of my own, my own money. In fact, I didn't really want my boss to know I was doing it, probably for a couple of reasons. One is I didn't know if it would work, and I didn't want him to also manage, that part of it, because I knew that it was going to be hard for me to change. And I fought the guy. Like I remember the first meeting I sat with him, and it was just an hour at my house, and he goes, "Hey, I want you to keep track of what you do throughout the day." And he said he wanted me to do it for a week, but I couldn't do it for a week, but I did do it for 2 days. And so he's looking at my Tuesday, the next week when we met, and he goes, "What is this heat sheet meeting?" So I would have a heat sheet meeting with my finance director, and it was about 4 hours every Tuesday. And I would, I'd call in a fleet guy and be like, "Hey, we need a driver's license on this deal. We need insurance on this deal." And I was chasing, we were with used and new, we were selling over 600 cars a month. So there were a lot of deals that were missing, something. And so then I'm showing him this, and I'm explaining it to him, and I remember pushing back on him, like, with all the conviction in the world. He says to me, he goes, "So what is the finance?" Because he didn't know a lot about car. He was coaching like Fortune 500 CEOs. And he goes, "So what is the finance director do?" And I go, "Oh, well, they're blah, blah, blah," and I explain the thing. And we have 12 finance managers and whatever. And he goes, "No, what do they do if you're doing their job for, why would you be chasing a driver's license? Like, I've bought a car before. I know that I left without giving them a driver's. Why aren't they getting it?" And I would say, "Well, sometimes our fleet salespeople will deal with brokers." And he'd be like, "Yeah, but what's the finance director's job? Could you explain to me the job of the finance director?" And I remember I he left or whatever. And then the next heat sheet meeting, I was like, to my finance director, I was like, "Hey, it occurred to me that I have you to do all this. And why am I chasing the fleet? What I want to do is I want to move this meeting to Wednesday, and I want you to do all of this. And my goal is that this meeting's 10 minutes. And so, we went from 3 sheets to, 5 deals at the top of 1 sheet. And those deals, she would just explain. But the hardest person to change was me. It wasn't my finance director. I was in this loop of thinking I was so important, and it took me paying somebody a lot of money to come in and then point out something pretty clear. I mean, it happens to us all the time too, where clients will be like, "Oh, we thought of that," or "Oh, we knew that." And I'm always like, "Yeah, no, the difference is we're just going to do it. It's not that we invented anything." We're just going to do it. It ends up that the secret to success is in the execution, not in the idea.
My favorite line is, "Oh yeah, we tried that once."
Yeah. Well, we're going to do it again, but it's going to work.
Yeah, so we're going to follow through.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks so much for watching this clip of Service Driver Revolution. We're uploading new stuff every day, so make sure you subscribe and click the bell icon so you don't miss out. If you have a question you'd like us to answer on the show, call 8333-ASK-SDR and we'll answer your question on the show. That's 8333-ASK-SDR. For special deals on our books and training, head over to offers.chriscollinsinc.com. Now that's offers.chriscollinsinc.com. I'm Chris Collins, and I'll see you in the next video.